Whether you have the Valve Index controllers or you're planning on buying them, in this video I'm going to be going over 5 games and how they pair with the controller. So either you're thinking about buying the Valve Index controllers or you've already bought them. Either way, in this video I'm going to be going over 5 VR games and my experience playing them with the Index controller. And before we get into our first game, I hope all of you guys had a great holiday. Anyways, let's get into the first game. So yes, this game just came out on December 10th, and I've actually waited to play it with the Valve Index controllers because this game was meant and designed for them. But that doesn't mean you can't use the Vive and Oculus controllers, because you can. Now, I really thought that the Valve Index controllers worked really well with this game and probably the best out of the 5 games that I'm reviewing in this video. When you force grabbed, it actually felt like you were like pulling something towards you, and when you grabbed it, you grabbed onto the controller, which made you feel like you were actually grabbing onto the thing in the game. Now, the weapons feel really fluid, but the throwing's a little hard, but that's obviously going to happen in VR. But pretty much, this is probably the best out of the 5 games, in my opinion. Also, before I move on into the next game, I just wanted to tell you guys that this list is in no order, just so you guys know. Okay, let's go on to the next game. Yes, Beat Saber, a VR classic. Everyone who has played VR or knows any information about VR knows this game. And at that, it's a very simple game. You just hit the boxes with the sabers to the beat of the song. But with the Valve Index controller, I actually felt like it was a minor setback, because when you're swinging it, it's at a different angle. Because when you're holding the Index controller, it's like strapped to your hand and it's at a weird angle. So I'm used to swinging it with the Vive wand at a different angle. So I feel like it was a minor setback, so there's not really a lot to talk about. But I feel like it might have been a minor setback for me. So yeah, there wasn't a lot to talk about with Beat Saber. The only really thing I had to talk about was that it was a minor setback, which I said that like a bunch of times now. Anyway, yeah, I feel like with people who are used to playing Beat Saber with the Vive wand, it might be weird, but you'll definitely get used to it. There's not a lot to change. It's just the angle. Okay, that was all for Beat Saber. Let's move on to the next game. Yeah, Superhot. Some people also call it a VR classic, but if you don't know what it is, it's going to be hard explaining to them because it's kind of hard to explain that time moves only when they moves. They might not get it. Anyway, yeah, this was really fun with the controllers, and it was fun grabbing things. The only thing that I had trouble with was throwing things. Now, in the footage, it might not look like I have that much trouble throwing things, but for the first time when I was throwing stuff, it was like really hard, and then when I was shooting the footage, it started becoming easier, but it just still felt weird. So I'm gonna have to get used to that, and I feel like throwing things is harder. But besides that, I mean, there's nothing really else wrong. It's Superhot, but better, because you can grab things, and it just feels more realistic, because there's no press of the button to do things. Yes, H3VR, or known as hot dogs, horseshoes, and hand grenades. I'm so mad. They could have done so much more with the grip. So, you threw stuff with the Vive controller by pressing grip while doing a throwing motion, or just pressing grip to drop. But with this, since you're using it, you're so fixated on holding it with it, you hold it, then you let go. Well, like you hold it and then let go of the controller, and it does nothing, and then you push the grip again and it drops it, and it doesn't do like you want it to do. Same with reloading and stuff. If you want to cock back the pistol and you use the grip, it just drops it. If you're well, it won't drop it because you're not cocking it with a gun, but you know what I mean. It's just not good, and I don't like it. And I feel like it would just be easier with the Vive controllers. But I hope that they add actually more support for these, because I really think it would be cool. So yes, most people know what Pavlov is, and people usually get VRs just to play this game, because it's practically Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but in VR, and that's really appealing. But this game actually did it very well, and it actually just is what I wanted. So there's really no complaints, and nothing really to add that I wanted. It works just fine. There's nothing bad with it. It's really good. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about Pavlov. And that's pretty much the end of the video, because there's nothing else to talk about. Oh yeah, before I end this video, pretty much a whole conclusion about this is if you're thinking about buying the controllers, definitely do so. You get Half-Life, the new Half-Life Alyx, for free. So definitely get the controllers if you actually are thinking about getting them. So yeah. This was actually fun to make. I got the Valve Index controllers for Christmas, and I feel like this would be a fun video to make. Please like and subscribe. I feel like I did better on this video with the transitions and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. If we can make it to 100 subscribers by, I don't know, February, I don't know. Yep, I'm dragging this out too long. I guess just look out for my next video. Like and subscribe. Bye, guys.